Thank you very much. Good morning to everyone, and a special shout out to Kerry and the team for a fantastic conference, a fantastic event, and all things going very well. I want to share the Adelong Gold story with everyone. This is up on the ASX platform. I will be making some forward-looking statements, so I refer you to that. For us, really, the last 12 to 18 months has been about reshaping the portfolio, the Adelong Gold portfolio. Relatively new team. The company's been around for a while, but the team is new, and I'll talk a little bit about it coming up. We have the Adelong Gold Project itself in joint venture, and I'll talk a little bit about that. But really, from our point of view, the big levers of growth here for us are two really significant exploration projects in Victoria that we've brought into the mix, and I'll talk about why we like them and why we think we're a good vehicle to take those forward. Quick corporate snapshot. So at time of printing, about a $25 million market cap, so quite a small company, a little higher over the last couple of days. We closed last quarter with about a bit over $4 million in cash. We had a strategic investment investor coming into the company in terms of Nova Minerals, ASX listed company with a significant project in Alaska. In terms of the board, myself, Mina Habib as the chair, Kurt Lingor as non-executive director, who's been on the booth, and you may have seen him around, and Louis Siemens has joined as the Nova Minerals representative. Briefly on the Adelong Gold Project itself. The Adelong Gold, our company, released a scoping study on that back in 2022. Pretty robust, shows the potential for a profitable cash-generating asset with a production profile of up to 20,000 ounces per annum. Based upon a pretty high-grade mineral resource, so 188,000 ounces of relatively shallow material at plus 3 grams, with lots of upside, so very little historic mining below 200 metres depth, very little modern exploration. So from our perspective, in terms of the strategic positioning for the company, for Adelong Gold, we opted to work down the path of bringing in a partner to fast-track that path to production and de-risk the path to production for ADG shareholders. Obviously, it's on the public record that we're working through a process at the moment with the partner. We expect that to be resolved, and we think there's a lot of value here for both parties. So watch this space in that sense. Main focus of the presentation today, though, will be around our Victorian gold projects. So Apollo Gold, which is to the northeast of Melbourne, and the Lauriston Project, which is to the northwest, and I'll talk about why we really like these. So Apollo, to the northeast of Melbourne, we acquired it back in February. We've been on the ground already drilling, and I think to Simon's comments before, really important that companies are active and actually really moving their projects forward to create value. It's exploration. Sometimes it doesn't work, and that tells you something as well, because you've got to move on from those projects. But we've been on the ground drilling. Pretty happy with the results. So a set of 4 diamond holes, really looking at confirming the model here and confirming the geological interpretation that we have. 10.9 metres at 3.3 grams, pretty shallow. 27 metres at 1.7, including some higher grade intercepts within that. The image on the right, a little busy for here, but please download the presentation and have a look, and you can see that essentially this system is open at depth and open to the south along strike, bounded by a granite contact, and that's really important for us, because I'll talk a bit more about that as well. These are some of the historic intercepts that attracted us to the project in the first place. Clearly these are a select section of them, but 27 metres at 6.7 grams, 28 metres at 10.2 grams. This is a system which can host some pretty impressive intercepts, and we do think there's a lot of potential. What we are looking to do, and before I just step onto this, what we are looking to do is we've added strike length of the prospective granite contact. We've recently applied for another lease. We've increased the strike length, and what we'll be looking to do is to test along that strike length to really look at the scale potential here. What we want and what we think will be the best outcome for shareholders is that we can demonstrate that we've got scale potential on these projects, and that's what we're looking to do. I will talk a little bit about Hayfield Reef, though. That's that's away from the granite in the southwest of the tenement for the Apollo project, and it's got a gold antimony signature. So it's got an epizonal, and without being too geological and too technical, it just means it's been formed in a shallow setting. Stibnite has precipitated along with the gold, and that's antimony-bearing. Clearly, there's a lot of interest and focus on antimony. It's got its price has risen strongly. Western sources of antimony are highly sought after in the current geopolitical environment, so that's something that we are working through a program to follow up on. Previous drilling there, 3 metres at 5 grams gold and 3.5% antimony. So that's got, again, without wanting to draw too many parallels, it's got affinities to Costerfield and Sunday Creek. They're the sort of models that we're looking to follow up here. Now, stepping across to Lauriston. So super excited about this. We acquired this in May. We worked through a program to complete the permitting for drill platforms, and we just started drilling on the weekend just gone. So we're on the ground, we're testing this. It's a large land holding, so nearly 300 square kilometres due south of Fosterville, along strike in a similar geological setting. I note with warmth Robin Willip's comments this morning around Fosterville. So just in terms of my personal background, I was associated with, I worked on Fosterville for 13 years, 2007 through to 2020. 6 parent companies. The last 5 of them were Canadian. So in some senses, it was under the radar of Australian investors, but it was a pretty extraordinary story. And I was site general manager for 7 of those years. So what that does for us, I think, is give us a competitive advantage in terms of knowing what we're looking for, being able to work with the communities in this area, work with the regulators as well, and that's the model we're following. I'm at pains to say that no 2 deposits are going to be exactly the same, of course, but it's the model that we're looking to follow. So similar sedimentary rock host rocks, similar structural setting, similar mineralisation style in terms of sulphide. Previous owner here drilled some outstanding holes at the southern end of this prospect in the last few years, including 8 metres at 104 grams, 9 at 11.6 and 15.9 at 15. That's at the very southern end of this trend, and we call it essentially it's the Comet to Trojan trend, and named because they were the historic mines along this area. The company at the time, TSX listed, they ran into issues with timing for getting their drilling permits, stalled, refocused their energies into Papua New Guinea and put these on the market. From our point of view, we've been able to get the drill permits, we're able to hit the ground running, and we can take advantage of that that exploration success that they had. Again, it was TSX listed, so it's under the radar of most Australian investors, and we think there's a really good opportunity here. The cross sections here are, to be fair, a bit cheeky. The one on the right is Fosterville, so currently owned by Agnico Eagle. On the left is Comet, where we're following up now and where the drill rig is right now. In truth, the scale is much smaller. The Comet section is just the very top of that Fosterville section. But I think that reinforces the point as well, because what the Fosterville model shows is this depth extension to these systems as you trace down with these west dipping structures. So pretty exciting. What does it look like? It looks a lot like Fosterville. So sediment hosted, sandstone, siltstone sequence, quartz veining, sulfide as the main gold host. So arsenopyrite with some stibnite and some occasional visible gold as well. In addition to that, what we really like is the scale potential here. So what we have in the two images you see here are gold and antimony, soil sampling geochemistry, and indeed arsenic is the same, and it shows this 4+ kilometre trend, which has got a north-northwest stepping structural setting, which is very similar again to Fosterville. There's historic mining throughout all of this area, and the drilling that I just spoke about is at the very southern end of this. So we're on the ground now, which I think is coming. We're on the ground now and drilling from the very southern end, and then we're going to step to the north. So 3,000 metres of drilling, taking us up to the end of the year. That's the first phase, and really will be driven by success here. So, what is this going to look like? How is this going to play out? Lots of news flow. We'd expect drill results here later in this quarter. There is also an antimony signature here as well. So, previous owner sampled only for gold. Working our way through the drill core from the previous drilling, there's antimony, stibnite veining through it as well. We've done a systematic resample of that. We've released some of those results, and you can see they're thin veins, but there's some high grades involved, including 0.9 metres at 2.2% antimony. In our work going forward, we'll be sampling for all of that. Multi-element analysis, and we think there's the potential here as well. There is a lot of, it's not economic at Fosterville, but there's a lot of antimony at Fosterville. It's very economic at Costerfield, and clearly it forms a significant part of the future economics for Sunday Creek. So something for us to follow up on. What does it look like? Well, these look like these epizonal quartz stibnite veins, so it's got a lot of signatures that we like. Next steps. So with Apollo, we've got those recent assay results. We'll be looking to incorporate those internally into a resource model. Follow-up drilling on that core project, so at depth and to the south, but also looking to test a long strike of that granite contact and see whether we can really see the scale potential for this project, as well as following up on the Hayfield Reef as well, the gold antimony potential. At Lauriston, drilling's underway. So 3,000 metres of drilling will take us through roughly, and it's all diamond drilling because we need that high quality diamond core for the structural setting. From that will really drive our drill target definition beyond. In the background, we're working through the permitting process for the next set of anticipating success, and we'll be integrating all of those results. And we expect first assays from the Lauriston drilling later this quarter. So, lots of news flow. We think we're really positioned for a significant re-rating here. So I'd really encourage you all to watch this space. Thank you.